Hey family, and welcome to the Family People. I'm Raymond, and this is AltarQuest. So I did a crazy unboxing for this quite some time ago, and yeah, just absolutely been blown away by this game. It is a great game. Unfortunately, the rules left some things in question, but there's been a fantastic community out there helping on that front. And so I thought I'd take this opportunity to get this to the table, open it up for those that either don't know it at all. It's been a few years now since it's been widely utilised, I guess, on YouTube. So I thought it'd be great to bring that refresh, if you like, as well as an opportunity for myself to get it to the table, play through my own understanding and interpretation of the rules, and open up to the community to help to get their feedback and help me to make sure that I'm doing everything right, with a view that from here we would then move into hopefully going through some of the actual campaign aspects as well. So that's something I've not ventured into at all. I've done a number of the standalone campaigns that come out of the core box. All of this that you're seeing on the table is all in the core box. It really is great, tremendous, fantastic little sculpts and minis. You'll see them come into play. An absolute plethora of cards that you can mix and match. It was very much the Blacklist Games trademark system, the cards management system, and it really does work tremendously well. The only observation I would have would be sometimes the games can run a little bit long, and sometimes that might be just me still getting to grips with the game and still becoming that bit more familiar with the game. And so the idea is the more I play it, the more I'll better understand the game, and the more I won't have to pause and think so much. It'll be much more free-flowing, much more quick. Yeah, I manage it through there. I would say it's probably akin in my mind to something like Nemesis. Nemesis, fantastic game, plays really well solo, but again it has got a level of administration, I think it's fair to say, so where the players do their part and then the game responds, and there's quite a number of bits to that game responding process. So that said, let's have a look and see what we've got. So we've got our core box hero set up and ready to go. So we are playing with Rowan Laughlin. He was fairly well covered out there on YouTube, but I really like him, and he's got the movement and the ability to attack and heal and things like that to sort of keep things flowing. So I think he's a really good choice for this very first game. He comes with his 2 items of equipment, so he gets his trapper rope and his bowie knife. We've shuffled up his cards. We'll get 3 action tokens. This is how the heroes work. Just give his cards a quick shuffle there. And we've got the wonderful, in my opinion, exploding dice. Really love that mechanism, keeps things moving at pace. And we are going to be playing against the Frogs, which are the human-sized frog-like creatures, and Bulks the Belchlord as their warlord leader. There's a bit of flavour text, and I'll go through that for you. And then the quest that we're doing will be the search quest. Not really seeing that very clearly there. Let's see if this is operating. There we go. Just remember how to do up and down. Apologies. So we've got the search quest. So this is playing through. The notion is we've got to find 2 halves of any particular artifact. So there'll be a deck of cards that represent artifacts that we'll be discovering as we go through the dungeon. We need to get 2 halves of the same artifact, marry them together, get them to the altar, and imbue them with the altar's power, and then get out of the dungeon without being eaten alive, I suppose, by the Frogs. So in essence, that is what we are after doing, and then there's some rules on the back as to how that works and what it is we need to be actually mechanizing, if you like, through that. Okay, so we've got the search crest, and I randomly pulled an altar. So we've got the quaking altar. So for a recent playthrough I did with a close friend on here, I'd forgotten that, or missed. I can't even remember if I did it before. I think I possibly did at some point very long time ago. That this sits within the quest section over here. So when it comes to the quest playthrough, so it does give you a very handy dandy little player guide as a card. So you get the hero's turn and all the various actions that I can undertake, as well as then we undertake the threat turn, the villain turn, and then the quest turn. And it's in that quest turn that the altar also actually activates, as well as any items that we're finding, any features, sorry, that we'll discover as we go through the map. You'll see those coming into play. So in a nutshell, that is a very, very brief overview of how this works. So let's get into play. So the first thing I need to do is to draw up 4 cards, and the first time you draw cards for your hero, you can undertake a mulligan and cast away any cards that you don't particularly like into the discard pile. So let's have a look. So we've got just a Bury. So Ranger 3 does a test against his purple ability. And apologies, I was meaning to have the little cheat sheet to hand as to what those ability names are, and they've escaped me at the moment. So we've got the purple ability for success. For each success, choose a figure within range to move 1 space. So you can play it on yourself as well. And if there is shadow in the air, then you can deal 1 damage to each enemy adjacent to a hero. So this is the auto pull, so you can see that just on the screen beneath my own camera. So you'll see what is available there to activate these cards. And when this particular one is a feat, so there's 3 types of cards. There are actions, feats, and reactions. And actions have 2 flavors. So feats can be undertaken at any time. So I've got 2 feats. I've got I can cook this. So I would do a test against my green skill, which I think is agility. And if passed, I gain 1 supply. And each hero within range, a range of 2, may discard 1 supply to heal 2 damage. So that's a really nice healing ability there. I can cook it. And if there is also at the same time wind in the air, then I can also either draw 1 search card or gain 1 supply as well in the process. And that doesn't count as one of my 3 actions that I can undertake in my turn. Likewise, the just a Bury feat with the test against the purple. It's doing my head now and trying to think what they are. I know we've got fortitude, might, dexterity, wisdom, intelligence, and must be charisma, I'm guessing. For each success, choose a figure within range to move 1 space, do 1 damage to each enemy adjacent to a hero. Okay. So then we also have reactions. So these will typically be played when an enemy is undertaking their action. So maybe when they move into range, things like that. Play discard when an enemy moves into a space within range. There you go. You may immediately roll an attack using your agility skill. So with Rowan, that is 3. So we're rolling 3 dice to try and attack that enemy. So just cause that much damage to that enemy. It is an attack, so if they have got any armor, that gets defended against. And if there is wind in the air, then it also deals 1 damage to an enemy within range. And then I also get to draw another card from my deck to my hand. So that's that ability reaction. And then I also have an action. I mentioned there are two flavors of actions. So there are actions that when you play that card, it's a one and done, a bit like the feats that we've just been looking at. So you'd play that card, you'd read out its abilities, you'd undertake them, and you'd discard it. With this particular action, in fact, however, it is an action ongoing. So it is an opportunity to be able to put that in with my equipment cards, with the notion that you have played this on a hero within range. Obviously I'm the only one here at the moment, so used to heal, so I can use it and then it's gone, and that would heal 2 damage, gain 1 focus and draw a card. Otherwise I can, if there is fire in the altar pool, then I can utilize that fire to effectively heat it up and exhaust it, which means I would just tap the card to indicate it's been used. And it says before rolling dice for a test, I get to add an additional dice for that particular test. So that one's a really nice one to get out fairly early on if you get the opportunity, and then it's there waiting, and it's an action, so it does take an action to get it into the pool area. There are search cards, and I'm just going to move those over here with the feats. So when we reveal a feat, these are quest search cards, so when we reveal a feat, one of those cards get attached to that feat feature. Sorry. And then there are a number of, on the other side of the board here, there are a number of, so there's the items that we're searching for as well. Okay, so my first action, I want to reveal a room, so let's undertake a move. Now then, let's start by rolling the altar pool. Okay, wow, lots of fire in the air, so that's good. Like lots of fire in the air, because we know we can use that, and some earth as well, and some light. Okay, so first thing I want to do then, and before I do anything else, the other thing I need to do is to shake up the feats. So we've got those there, and I'll take 2 of those, and the altar card, the altar discovered, get shuffled into those feats on the last 3 cards, and then the other feet back on top. So somewhere in there, as we're going and discovering runes, those feats that will come out. So unfortunately we didn't get wind, so I was hoping to get wind. So Rowan's base character action, it enables him to exhaust, to move 2 spaces. The other thing he can do is use earth to place your figure in any space within range of 3. So that's pretty cool. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to, rather than keep tapping and making a mess, I'm just going to stick a search token on there to indicate that it's been exhausted. And we'll re-roll the earth. And we have wind. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. So I can place within range. So I'm going to place it here, right in front of this door. So we will now activate Discover what is in this room. So we will start by drawing a feature. So this feature is the bookcase. So what this bookcase gives us, there we go. So when it activates, any hero adjacent to this feature may draw a card, and I can choose to interact with it and search against my intelligence. And for each supply gained during this test, choose a hero in this room to draw a card as well. So that's what that grants me, and this will go here in the room. And then we also need to draw a quest card. So let's have a look. Prepare defenders. So I'm going to read that. So even before pushing the door open, you hear sounds of preparation and battle shouts. The rattle of weapons or armor soon follow. The advantage is lost. However, there's nothing to do but continue on The search is far from over. So then it says, when revealed, attach this card to the room's feature card. Each enemy drawn when revealing this room gains 2 armor tokens. Ouch. And then when it activates, a hero adjacent to the attached feature may draw a card from the clue deck. Then if a hero decides to take control of a clue card, discard this card. So there is a level of being able to rattle through what is available to discover. So that will go here with these. We've got the bookcase here with the attached activation. So when we come and do the quest activation down here, we'll also do the altar activation and the features as well, and anything attached to them. So now we need to draw some baddies. So threats, just to be aware then, so threat tokens represent the poisonous sludge-like substance fox use to subdue their foes. Each time a character suffers damage from threat, it also inflicts a threat token. Each time a character would heal damage, they instead discard 1 threat token for each damage that would be healed in the first instance. So we have attached in my threat area, which will be situated above my, I'll put them over there. So I just wonder where's my hand gone, which will be situated above my cards here. So we have a Bogmancer frog. So let's have a look at the Bogmancer in a little bit more detail. This is the green Bogmancer. So I'm just going to fetch that from off screen. So the dude with a skull on his head. There we go. Okay, so he doesn't have any armor naturally, although we will have 2 now due to his preparation. He has 5 hit points. He has a range of 6 for his particular abilities, and he can move or engage, as the term is on the threat cards, up to 4 spaces. Okay, and when he activates, he's got some stuff to do, and if there's water in the altar pool here, which at the moment there isn't, then he gets the opportunity to do an extra something as well. So we're going to put that in here. So there is a little crack. Let's take it away. Sorry, so there is an entrance point here. So there's like a crack in the floor where these baddies are pouring in through from presumably from underground. Okay, so we've got the Fox Bogmancer in my area, and I've currently moved 2 of 3 spaces. So let's move an additional space. And the deal with doors is you have to be exactly adjacent, orthogonally, one side or the other of a doorway in order to activate that door. Very simple. So that's used my rope to swing in there at a range of 3, and now, because there is wind in the air, I can now use my scurry feature. Oh, and it's water. That's the one thing we best not have wanted, but there it is. Okay, I can move up to 2 spaces, moving through any enemies, ignoring trigger effects, and then may discard 1 focus to gain a supply. Currently I haven't got any focus, so I need to also put onto the threat 2 armor tokens. So just grab those for the Bogmancer. So you can see that here, we'll put the 2 armor tokens on there, and put a search token, a flame, to indicate that's burned his exhausted action. So I haven't actually done any actions yet, sorry, his exhausted ability. So I've done 2 abilities so far: revealed a room, gained a feature, and discovered a threat. Now we can play this purely run the gauntlet and ignore baddies and hope they don't come and catch up with us. Now one of the catches with this particular scenario is, the idea is we need to come from the staircase here, go wherever we're going to find the altar, and then we need to make it back to the staircase, having found the 2 relics, combined them at the altar, and imbued them with power, and then get out of the dungeon with those imbued relics. So that's what we need to do. So something for this particular quest is thinking about which route might I take to make it as quick and simple and easy as possible to get back in. Bearing in mind, you don't know necessarily exactly how many rooms you're going to be encountering. So you could maybe come up here, feature around to here, then back round down, maybe come back down. We've got another room and another room maybe if we need to get back into here to get back to the stairs. So I think that's a feasible, plausible route. So I think that's where we're going to be heading. So given that, I have a reaction card, which means I can attack him when he moves within range. However, he doesn't need to move because his range is 6. So if we come back down here, so he's got a range of 6, and he will do a cause. He will try and inflict his, doesn't say his, he'll try and inflict damage upon me, and it will be a test against my intellect. Okay, of level 5, so that's quite difficult. I've only got 2 dice that I'm rolling on intellect. So let's have a think. I mentioned about maybe once you get that hot pot out, there is fire in the air, so I think that would definitely be useful to have available. So I'm just going to move that across a little bit in order to do so. So I'm going to, for my first action, I'm going to put my hot pot into play. So that is now available. There's no point in me using my knives because I'd have to be stood next to him. Not that there's any disadvantage for him if I am stood next to him, even though he's attacking at range. I can't use... I've used all the air in the room, and I can't use the wind in the room. And I don't have a means to use more earth or that fire. Okay. Therefore, right, so I'm going to move 3 for my next action. 1, 2, 3. This will enable me to search that at the end of the round. In the meantime, I can do a roll against intellect. So what I'm going to use this fire and exhaust my hot pot to give me an extra dice. So the fire becomes an earth. Put that there, and that means I now get 3 intellect dice to use against the interact on the bookcase. Oops. Okay, so for each supply gained during this test, choose a hero in this round to draw a card. Nice. Okay, so what have we got? We have got 3 successes and a focus. Very nice. So we're going to add that focus to my pool, and I've got 3 successes. So the first search for this particular one means I'm not going to get a card, but instead I get to draw. I draw 1 card. Is it a search card? Is it an ability card? So, okay, guys, that's the first question. So with the bookcase, it says for each supply gained during this test, choose a hero in this room to draw 1 card. Is it a choice? Do I have the option of a search card or my own card from my own deck? It doesn't specifically say one way or the other. I'm going to play that it is a search card because it's a search action. So that sounds logical to me. So I have acquired a search action, and it is a potion of intellect. Oh, that's handy. So before rolling dice for your intellect test, you can gain 2 additional dice for that test at a future time. So that's nice. And then because I have searched against the bookcase, is my understanding, then a search token goes onto the bookcase to indicate that it has been searched once, because I have interacted with it. Yeah, okay. So that's that ability done. Now I don't really want to move him out of that range. Therefore, my other options are he is in range 3. Okay, so that's nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use for my third action, I'm going to use my Trapper's Rope, and I'm going to exhaust 1 minion within range and place 2 progress tokens on a trap within range. Now, there aren't any traps in range, so I don't have to worry about that, but I am going to exhaust, so I'll put a flame token on the baddie. Okay, the Bogmanster. So I have exhausted the Bogmanster, so he will not be activating this turn. So that just gives me a turn's grace. He's still there. I still have to deal with him, but in the meantime I can focus on utilising this feat and really optimising what I'm going to get from there. Okay, so that is it. I've used my 3 actions. You can see my 3 action tokens, they are all activated. I have gained a focus. I've exhausted a number of my ability cards, and we are now moving into the threat phase. So during the threat phase, threats would act. So the only thing the threat would do when he activates is he'll become unexhausted, which means he can do stuff next turn. That's as much as he can do. The villain, however, will activate. So each hero must either discard 1 focus or discard a supply. I have got a focus, so we'll discard that. And then it says if there is water in the pool, which there is, which is now flame, each hero must either discard 1 supply or suffer 1 damage. I don't have any supply at the moment. Haven't defeated anything, so I have gained a damage. So that is it for the villain. Oh, not quite. And now we will draw a card for Bulks. And the card is Toxic Tactics. There we go. So, an event. Each hero must either discard 1 supply or do a resist 5 against fortitude. Ouch! My fortitude is only 1, and I have no way to boost that. And my reaction really doesn't help me. I can't do anything with those. I maybe should have done I can cook this. Anyway, or at the end of my turn I should have drawn a card, so I need to do that. And it's an action for next turn. Okay. Well, it is what it is, folks. I'm about to take a royal pummeling from this Toxic Tactics. Okay, so I have had 1 success. Let's get that out of the way. So I had 1 success and I gain a focus, but it does mean I take 4 points of damage. Ouch. That's a big hurt. Okay. So I'm now to 5 points of damage. And we're in the first round down. Woo! Okay, so now we go to the quest. So we're going to activate the quest. So I need to flip this over. So activate. Each hero who controls a clue card must either discard 1 focus for each clue card. I haven't got any of those. Okay, if there is 1 quest card on this card equal to the number of... Yeah, no, I'm not done any of that. Okay, so that doesn't do anything. So Quaking Altar, activate. Each hero may discard 1 armor. I don't have any armor. Each hero in the altar's room, we're not in the altar's room. If there is earth, then each figure gains 1 armor token. Each figure. Wow. Okay, so we are going to re-roll the earth. It's light, but it does mean each figure, which is myself, as well as the Bogmancer. So that's not great. So he's now got 3 armor. Thankfully, he didn't have any to start with, but gosh. So he's got 3 armor tokens on him, and I've gained 1 armor token. So back to the crest area. So that was the altar activated, and now we're going on to the bookcase. So a hero adjacent to this feature may draw 1 card. Again, I'm going to assume that that's a search item. I mean, I'm not undertaking a search. Do I just draw a normal card? Help me out here, folks. Which is it? Okay, I'm going to draw a normal card and put it in my hand, and it gives me the ability to search against my intellect rather than whatever the particular thing on the item is. The item in this case is the same anyway, but I do have the option to also gain a supply if there is earth in the air, which there currently is. Okay, so I've gained a card, and then I need to undertake the crest activation that says a hero adjacent to the attached feature may also draw a card from the deck. Then, if a hero takes control of a clue card, discard this card. So we have clues over here. Uh-oh, it's a sense of dread. So I may undertake a wisdom 4 check to discard this card, and then I get the option to look at the bottom 2 cards at the clue deck and take 1, and then shuffle others back in. Otherwise, discard this card and draw another card. So I think that's worth having a bash at that. I've got 2 wisdom. I have got a focus now. So let's have a look and see what that looks like. Sense of dread. Oh, we've got a critical. So that's another explosion dice. Oh, and just a focus. Okay. So I didn't pass. Therefore, without a success, I don't believe I take any damage from the resisting this. So I believe it just goes. Otherwise, discard this card and draw 1 card. And again, draw a card from this deck. Draw a card from my own personal deck. What am I drawing a card from? It's not particularly clear. I'm going to assume that I'll draw a different card. And let's have a look. Toxic gas. It goes from bad to worse. So you may do a fortitude resist 4 to discard this card. Look at the bottom 2 cards. Otherwise, discard this card and heal 1 damage. Okay. Maybe it should have been draw one of my own cards. I don't know. So anyway, so we're going to discard this card. Yeah, I mean, I've got a fortitude of 1. Again, I haven't got any way to bolster it. Therefore, we're just going to discard this to the bottom of the deck. Or just going to discard this card. That's fine. And I regain 1 health. Sign that down to 4. I was trying to think then where I took that damage from, and should I have gained Get attack now. Anyway, okay. So that is it for the quest ability. So that's done. So now I come back to the hero and I will refresh everything. So that means we'll flip over action tokens. We're going to remove our Burly tokens to say that we're no longer exhausted on any of those abilities. So they're now back in play. And I can have a look. So the new card that I got then was Professional Rummager. So it has a range of 4. And it enables me to search against my agility, which is certainly much better than my intellect. And may discard up to 3 supply. For each supply discarded, choose a hero within range to move 1 space. And if there's earth in the air, which there is, I can also draw a search card. See, that's very explicit. Draw a search card. I know what I'm searching for. And again with this, so this is a search. Am I searching this feature in the room and I have to therefore be within range 4 of the feature in the room? Is that how that search works? Am I just searching a random corner of the room and not interacting with this feature at all? Logic in my mind would dictate that I will always be searching a feature, but there it is, folks. There it is. Okay, now do I want to stick around? Because I haven't found a clue yet, and I need those clues. But we've got plenty of rooms to go through, so I think we're fine on that front. I think we're going to get moving. And likewise, this one here, this makeshift traps. I could do an intelligence search, and I could use my potion of intelligence, of intellect. May discard up to 3 supply. For each supply discarded, deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. What was I thinking? I mean, he is in range 3. Oh yes, so when I do that, that damage, does it avoid his shields? Do I have to take into account that he's got 3 shields? Presumably the shields disappear as I cause that damage. Those little bits, people, those little bits. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to do I Can Cook. It's a feat rather than an action, so I still get to retain all my actions. If passed, gain 1 supply, and each hero in range may discard 1 supply to heal 2 damage. Ideally, I'd like there to be wind in the air, but there isn't. Is it worth me pausing to take an action to put that wind in the air? So one of my actions that I can do is to channel, which gains 1 focus and changes 1 altar die to a result of my choice, which then optimizes this. Either draw a search card or gain 1 extra supply. Supplies are pretty useful, folks. Pretty useful. Okay. So supplies enable me to heal, and they enable me to roll additional dice in my checks. Okay. So I think I'm going to do that. So I have got flame in the air. So let's So I don't have to spend an action for this, but I do have to spend an action for that. So I'm going to spend an action to gain a focus, to choose one of these light, because I can't use those at all, to change that to air. I'm then going to use I Can Cook, which is an agility test of 3. I'm going to use I don't need to use anything else, that's fine. So agility test 3, I've got 3 successes, one of those is critical, and another success, so 4 successes, so I pass that and gain an extra focus, so that's tasty. Okay, so I gain 1 supply, and it says that I may now spend 1 supply to heal 2 damage, so I think it's worth me doing that. I've only got 10 hit points, and I was down to half, so that wasn't good. And then I'm going to spend this wind, which becomes shadow. That's fine, I can use shadow to either draw a search card or gain an extra supply. I'll gain an extra supply, and then I've got it if I need it later on. So that is that card, used and discarded. Okay, and that's 1 action. So I've got reaction, got the makeshift plan. Okay, I think the other things I'm going to hold on to until we're in another room. I've lost that there, but I have got that. Okay, so I think before I move, I'm going to do an action to exhaust that Bogmancer, so keep him out of my trouble for a little while longer. Place, and then I'm going to, because I'm using this, I'm also going to exhaust this Trapper's Rope. To place your figure in any space. Oh, shadow. Ideally I wanted air, but that's fine. Okay, so within range 3, so I've got a door here, so 1, 2. I'm going to reveal another room. I have 1 move left, which can only be here. So let's see, what feat did I get? It's the shrooms. Well, put those up. Bleep. There we go. Nice little colourful shrooms. Fungal Patch. So when this gets activated, a hero adjacent to this feature may deal 1 damage to an enemy in this room. And when I choose to interact and search against Fortitude, for each supply gained during this test, deal 1 damage to an enemy in this room as well. Very tasty. So we're going to put that on the board. There we go. So that is here in this room. This is the route we are taking. And we're also going to attach a search card. A swirling mist. Someone or something doesn't want you finding what you're after. An arcane shroud hangs heavier and heavier, and now visible mists coalesce around you, trying desperately to sway you from your course. You know you're on the right path when such resistance is blocking your path. Now it's just a matter of enduring the mystical tricks thrown up against you. When revealed, attach this to room's feature, then roll all dice in the altar pool. Oh, okay. So let's see what we're going to get. Wow, okay. Nice. I mean, that definitely does help us. I'm liking that. Let's put those up here. We've got 2 fire, 1 shadow, and 2 wind. Very good. Okay, and then when it activates a hero adjacent to this, adjacent to the feature, may draw a card from the clue deck, as you've seen before. So it's an opportunity to discover a clue towards the item that we need to find a relic. Okay, so we move that extra one, and now we need to draw a threat. So let's have a look. The threat we've drawn is muck stakes. So it's the red muck stakes. So they are going to come into play. So the rules with traps and, in this case, muck stakes, is they are going to come into play adjacent to the feature, as close as possible to the hero that we've just put out. So the muck stakes are here, I'm here, and the feature is here. Okay, and when triggered, so when I move next to them, they do an inflict damage of 4 test. I can interact with an agility task, and then in terms of the activation, each character in this room gains 1 threat token and must resist 3 against fortitude. If there are no characters in this room, then draw a threat card and discard this card. Okay, so again, that will go into my threat area. So that is here in my threat area. And with traps, the idea is you can get rid of them, but you need to spend a bit of time doing so. And that's what this is representing as progress tracks. So you've got tokens that you put on here to indicate progress. Okay. So we exhausted this, but we do still have the trapper's rope. The trapper's rope enables me to place 2 progress on a trap within range of 3 as an action. So I could do that. It's certainly a bit of a pain. Certainly a bit of a pain. And the option to do an interact task which is an action. So I don't want to do that. Do what's that? Okay, I've currently got 3 focus, and I'm going to use my Bury Scurry. So we're going to roll that. Okay, we've got shadow, that's fine. So we're going to use our Bury Scurry. That enables me to move 2 spaces, ignoring enemies and ignoring the trigger effects. So that enables me to move 1 and 2. So I'm now adjacent to the Bury Scurry. Adjacent to the feature. And then may discard 1 focus to gain a supply. So I'm also going to do that as well. So I'm going to discard a focus and gain a supply. Okay, and I have got that extra armor as well, so that's helpful. So that's an exhaustion rather than an action. I am still adjacent to it, however. So for my final action, then I'm going to... I can't exhaust this minion. Oh, I already did that action, didn't I? Place your figure in any space within range 3. So I've done that as well, haven't I? Yes, because I exhausted him. Okay. So I can't do that, because that's already done. So that's fine. I'm going to use my hot pot. Have I got anything else that can help me? I haven't got earth in there. And I can't attack an enemy because it isn't an enemy to attack. Okay, so that's fine. That's as much as I can do, as far as I can see. So we're moving on to the baddies phase. The baddie will do so threats. This guy becomes unexhausted. He's not having a good day. Mug Stakes. So, when they activate, each character in this room gains 1 threat token and must do resist 3 fortitude. So, we've got a threat token, our first one, in addition to 2 damage. And we've got to do a fortitude test. My fortitude is 1. Not great. I will, however, exhaust my hot pot with a fire. Oh, water! I didn't want that. And oh, I've got an extra success. Sorry, before rolling dice for a test, gain an extra +1 dice. J explosion! Come on! Oh. Okay. So it was. What was this 3? Okay, I will spend a focus to complete the resist 3. So I don't take any damage, so that's good. So we've survived the Muck Stakes. They're still there. So that's it for those. And now the Bolts and Belch Lord. So when he activates, each hero must either discard a focus or discard a supply. I will discard my last focus. And then, because there is now water, oh, flame, nice, you can use that. Each hero must either discard a supply or suffer 1 damage. I'll keep the supply and suffer damage. So that's 3 damage I've got now. Okay, and acid reflux event. So, the hero with the fewest cards in their threat area must resist 4 in agility. So there's only me. Now I have got 3 agility. It's one of my better skills, being small and nimble. Oof, it says, man, I haven't got any focus. So, although I would have passed had I had the focus, I haven't. So I've done 2, which means I take 2 more points of damage. Ouch. Felt that one. Back up to 5 points of damage. But I do gain 2 focus moving forward. Okay. So that was it for Bolts. Not happy with that. Okay. So we're on to the quest. What have we got? So, first of all, the search. I haven't got any clues. There's nothing to do there. The altar. We don't have air in the altar pool. Each hero may discard 1 armor token to change 1 altar die to a result of their choice. Each hero in the altar's room doesn't apply. I have got an armor, so is it worth me changing that to one of my choice? So the problem is, folks, if I do that now and I change it to earth, which is what I would want, then I can't use the earth because it will then use the earth. Not great. Okay. And I haven't got anything other than earth I really want to use. So I will leave them as they are. There's no water, so that's fine. So moving on to the bookcase is the feat that's out there. So activate if there's a hero adjacent, which there isn't. Okay. And then moving on to the shrooms. Activate a hero adjacent to this feature may deal 1 damage to an enemy in this room. No enemies in the room. Activate a hero adjacent to the attached feature may draw a card from the clue deck. This is the clue deck. Oh, we've found our first clue. This one is for a torn map. When revealed, a hero may take control of this. I will take control of the torn map. That is the first piece that we need, and that is now Goon. Now, okay, and that's it, folks. So we are moving on to round 3. We'll discover 2 rooms after 2 rounds. That's good. Now then, where is the feature there? Just thinking, do I want to move out of there? I think it's worth me running away and continuing my gauntlet run. Therefore, 4. Let's turn my actions back over. Oh, do you know what I did, folks? Again, I forgot to draw a card. Professional Rummager, another of. Okay. So I could use one of those now. Professional Rummager. Discard up to 3 supply for each supply. Discarded. Choose a hero within range to move 1 space. What am I searching for? Search cards, I would guess. So I guess, yeah, Professional Rummager. It's a search rolling my agility. Do the normal search rules apply in terms of I put a token on that item because I've searched it, and then anything above the first I gain supplies. I'm guessing that sounds logical, so let's do that then. Professional Rummager has got a range of 4, so I don't have to be stood next to it to activate it, but it is an action. Therefore, let me exhaust my bits and bobs. I don't think there's much point me doing that. Place your figure in any space. I can't do that because I haven't got that at the moment. Oops. Okay, I have got wind in the air, so let's do this. So I can do my Burry Scurry. Ah, flipping water. Ah, okay, so I can do my Burry Scurry, move up to 2 spaces, avoiding triggers. Then I may discard 1 focus to gain a supply. So I will move 2 spaces, avoiding triggers. So that's good, and that still puts me adjacent. Yeah, I will discard a focus and gain a supply. So that is now exhausted. Rope damage before rolling. Don't have to roll at the moment, but I'm going to. I'm going to do my take an action to do my Professional Rummager. So Professional Rummager is rolling 3 dice against the agility. The search. Okay, so I'm going to gain a focus, and I've got 2 successes. So that puts a search token on the shrooms and gains me a supply. And then it says I may discard a supply to also move 1. So I will do that. I'm going to discard a supply to enable me to move 1. And that's gone. I haven't got earth in the pool, so I can't use the additional ability. But I will move 1 and I will search another room. That's one thing I didn't mention earlier on. You can only search 1 room per hero actions. You can't fully blitz. Maximum you can do is 1 per room. So let's get feat and feature. And the feature is the fountain, the blessed fountain, no less. Let's get that out. There we go. The blessed fountain. Beautiful. So when it activates, a hero adjacent to this feature may roll 1 auto die. Nice. You can interact against your wisdom. For each supply gained during this test, you may roll 1 auto die as well. Very nice. So that goes right here at the back of the room. Okay. So that's right at the back of the room there. We'll put that into... Okay. And then I need to draw a threat. Oh, no, before I draw a threat, let's draw a search card. A strange fatigue, a weariness settles in. It could be some hex, or it could simply be natural exhaustion. Whatever it is, must be tended to if you hope to continue the journey. There's no time to make camp, so You must dig deep to resolve to continue on. You cannot rest until you find what you're looking for. So when revealed, attach this card to the room's feature, then each hero must either discard one supply to resist against might. I will discard a supply because I'm not particularly mighty. A hero adjacent to the attached feature when it activates. Okay, that's fine. So we'll add that to the quest queue. And then we're going to draw a threat in the room, and it's another Bogmancer. This time it is the blue Bogmancer, so you already know what these guys are doing. And he will appear at the crack in the floor, which I'm guessing is just here in the corner. Looks like an ambush to me. Okay. Just going to shuffle my hero area, because I now have 3 threats in my hero area. I'm just going to put that potion there. I'm just going to tuck it under. In fact, I know it's a potion. It'll sit there. It's not great. It's just off camera. Apologies. Okay. Yeah, one thing to know, it is a bit of a table hog. It's fantastic. I love it, but it's a bit of a table hog. Okay. Okay. Makeshift traps. Range 4. He's got 5 life. I mean, that's quite handy. A makeshift trap. Okay. So looking at the board, what I'm thinking is I can do 1, 2, 3. Move into the room. Be adjacent to here, and then I can play take an action, which is my makeshift traps. And my makeshift traps says I can do a search against my intelligence, and I've got a potion of intellect, so it'll give me 4 dice. That's quite nice. And then I'm going to discard up to 3 supplies. For each supply discarded, deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. When I'm doing this search, so to interact, for each supply I also get to set the auto die, so that's nice. So potentially perform a few more actions. So let's use this item we discovered. We're going to do a search. Come on. Nice. So we've got 1 critical. We've got 2 criticals. Oh, it's all off camera. Apologies, folks. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 criticals and a focus. I will take the focus. We'll put a search token over on the fountain, which I think is just in view. So there is now a search token on the fountain, which means I get 5 supply. Wow, that's good effort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in fact, I will discard 3 of those straight off the bat. So I'll get 2 supply. Because it says I can discard up to 3. For each one I discard, I can deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. So he takes 3 points of damage. Ouch, he felt that as I rushed into the room over to the fountain. He's only got 2 points left. Can I do some more damage to him? I haven't got any throwing knives, unfortunately. It's a bit of a pain. Right, okay. And then what was that? For each supply gained during this test, you may roll 1 auto die. So I got 5, so I can roll all 5. I think I'm going to settle with these 3. Oh, fantastic. That could not have gone better. Wow. Okay. Excellent. Liking that. And then I'll use the earth to gain a supply. Go. Wind. Nice. So that is now discarded. And I put them on the bottom, but they're face up, so they're my discard pile. Just to try and minimise the table space. Okay, so that was an action. Now then, what do I do as my last action? I could do another Professional Rummager. Ideally, I want to take him out. He's only got 2 hit points left. Let's have a look. Stake out. Now that's reaction, and he doesn't have to move to me. Deal 1 damage to each enemy adjacent to a hero. Choose a figure to move. But it's a feat rather than action. Okay, so that's good. So let's do just a bury. So I'm doing a test against my charisma, is what I'm guessing it is, the purple one. So a test against my charisma. For each success, choose a figure within range to move 1 space. Well, that will be me. So I have got 2 in charisma. And you know what? I'm going to exhaust my hot pot to give me an extra die. To wind. Nice. So I get 3 dice. Okay, so choose a figure to move 1 space. Okay. 3. 1, 2, 3. There's no point moving 4 because I can't reveal the next room. 3 is ideal. So I will gain my last 2 focus. So I've got plenty of focus now. Although, do I want to move next to him? I guess that would be the ideal. Okay, I'm going to have to come back on myself slightly. So, tabletop view, I've got 3 move. So I can do 1, 2. So I'm now adjacent to the enemy. And then I can spend this shadow to deal 1 damage to an enemy adjacent to me. Gives me shadow again. That's nice. And then that means I can exhaust my bury knife to spend this shadow again, which becomes light, to do an extra damage to him, giving him 5 points of damage, which takes care of that Bogmancer. So he is out of the game. He was blue. So he's gone. Cool. So that's 1 less threat I'm having to deal with, which means I also gain a supply, having taken out a bad guy. So I'll add that to my supply pool. And I still have 1 action left. I was wondering if I was going to have to attack him, but I didn't have to. So I'm going to spend the earth. Oh, it's water. Man, that earth always comes up water. So that exhausts my rope to move me 1. I have 1 action left. So do you know what? I'm going to spend that 1 action. I can't gain a focus, but I can change this to something else of my choice. I'll make it shadow. And that's it, folks. It gives you an idea of what that looks like.